guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Kakabanggit ko lang dun sa episode ko kanina, no, na isa po sa malaking problema ng Canada, yung long wait times kapag ikaw ay nangangailangan ng medical procedure, surgery, napakatagal ng waiting time, specifically for those that are considered non-urgent. Diba? Siyempre, sa mga doktor siguro, non-urgent ang isang surgery. Pero kung ikaw ang alam mong nangangailangan ka ng isang medical procedure, just the fact that you know that you need it, you want it done as soon as possible. Hindi ba? Kaya talaga namang maiintindihan mo ang galit ng dami ng mga tao dito dahil sobrang tagal nilang naghihintay. Kaya naman talagang happy ako nakakarinig ng reports na ito nga yung pag-uusapan natin. At least, dumadami daw ang mga nire-recruit na mga healthcare workers. Kasama po dyan mga doktor, nurses, coming from the US specifically this time. More of them are wanting to move down to Canada. Okay, isipin nyo, no? Kahit it's been reported, laging sinasabi, mas malaki ang income ng mga healthcare workers sa US. But then, some of them are still choosing to move to Canada. Siyempre, hindi lang siguro naman pera ang factor ng kanilang decision-making. Siguro some of them are willing to take a hit sa kanilang income, earn less, pero siguro binabawi nila in other aspects kapag sila ay nandito sa Canada. Anyway, let me first show you yung sinasabi ko sa inyong problema, no? And sa healthcare, and please, if you have your own experience, kung kayo po ay naghihintay ng procedure, surgery, or just an appointment with a specialist, put them down there in the comment section. Okay? O sige. Ito po. How bad are wait times in Canada? Study suggests millions still waiting for healthcare services. Published lang po ito, September 26, 2025. So, just a few days ago. Sa CTV News po ito, no? Tignan ninyo. This report shows approximately 3.7 million Canadians are waiting for surgery, diagnostic scan, or specialist appointment, and suggests those numbers are likely closer pa daw to 5.8 million due to incomplete provincial numbers. Ganon katindi ang wait list. Grabe, no? Buti na lang, no? I must say, sa experience po namin, hindi naman sobrang tagal ng paghihintay. Although there is still a waiting time. Siguro, no? For example, yung huli kong specialist, I had to wait a month and a half to get an appointment. So, yan. Ganon ang nangyari sa amin. Okay, let's watch this report from CTV News.
Millions of Canadians are waiting for some sort of medical procedure, a number that keeps growing, according to a new report, which says the backlog can no longer be blamed on the pandemic. CTV's Heather Wright now with the reasons why.
Even making a cup of tea is painful for Kathy Holding.
Every day you have pain. You can't avoid that.
The London, Ontario resident needs a hip replacement. Walking is hard. Grocery shopping requires frequent breaks. She's booked for surgery in January, a nearly 2-year wait from when she first visited a doctor.
The levels of frustration, depression. Depression is a big one, accepting your limitations.
Holding is part of a growing number of Canadians waiting for some sort of medical procedure. According to government data released this week by think tank secondstreet.org, 3.7 million Canadians are waiting for surgery, a diagnostic scan, or an appointment with a specialist, though the group says that figure is likely higher due to incomplete government numbers. They say the number is likely closer to 5.8 million, or 1 in every 8 Canadian.
If you're not on a wait list yourself, you probably know someone who is on a wait list. And I think Canadians are getting sick and tired of just having a system that's not working out for them and not getting them the care that they need while they're paying thousands of dollars out of their taxes for it every year.
Ayan. It is, of course, very frustrating. Again, kung meron po kayong gustong i-share sa inyong experience sa healthcare, put them down there in the comments section. O sige, puntahan naman po natin itong reports na sabi ko, kaya naman in a way, no, I do definitely welcome this news. Sa BC, to be specific, ayan, nako, proud sila dahil mukhang nagresulta sa maganda yung campaign na nilaunch nila, I think sometime in June. Nag-announce sila na talagang mag-e-effort sila mag-recruit ng healthcare workers from the US. And now, so June yun, a few months later, they are now announcing that, eto na, this is a press release mismo from BC. Okay, more US doctors, nurses, and allied health professionals on their way to BC. Increasing number of American healthcare professionals are looking north as BC continues to break down barriers for US healthcare workers to practice here. Since May daw, May 2025, marami na daw nag-a-apply, mahigit 1,000. So, ayan, no? The number of job applications received from U.S. healthcare workers has doubled to more than 1,400. And so far, mahigit 100. Ako, sana bilisan pa nila, oh. Mahigit 100 na. 140 doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, and allied health professionals have accepted job offers. Yan. Sana nangyayari din ito in other provinces, ano. I've been trying to Google if may similar reports in other provinces. Parang wala pa po akong nakikitang update tungkol dito. Ang tanging nakita ko lang is an earlier report from the province of Ontario saying that they are also basically finding ways to cut red tape para mas mapadali yung pag-practice ng isang American healthcare worker, for example, na gustong mag-practice sa Ontario. As far as results of that effort, wala pa po akong nakikita. No? Sana dumami din. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, I talked about yung income factor, di ba? Sa inyo, kayo, sa mga comment section, ano, may mga nagko-comment na, may mga nagsasabi na, sino ba naman ang gustong lumipat kung nagpa-practice ka na sa Amerika? Dahil napakalaki ng income difference daw. Okay, oo nga naman, di ba? Kung mas malaki ang kita doon, ba't ka pa aalis? Well, according to this report, no, hindi lang po yun ang, obviously, hindi lang yun ang factor in the decision-making of those who moved. So ano ba kung hindi income? Nakasulat po dito. According to the Minister of Health of BC, yun, healthcare workers want to be in a system where their skills are valued, science is respected, and their focus is on providing care and not fighting with for-profit insurance companies. Okay? I think matagal na rin po itong kinocomplain ng ilang mga doktor, especially in the US, ano, yung parang conflict nila with insurance companies. For example, if they want a certain procedure or surgery done on a patient, minsan na-delay ito ng husto. In some cases, baka dinideny because of the need for these types of procedures to be approved pa, i-verify pa ng insurance company. Yan. May mga ganong issue sila, no? So, I guess, nasi-stress yung iba dyan, kaya lumilipat po sila. Okay. Actually, meron ako nakita po. I will play for you a report kung saan may isang doktor yan, na magmo-move na sa Canada. So, kinakwento niya kung bakit. So, ito pong doktor na ito ay Canadian-born pero matagal na pong nagpa-practice in the US. Okay.
For this Canadian-born doctor who has been practicing family medicine in Colorado for the last 6 years, his next career move is a sort of homecoming.
I mean, for me, it's hockey and being in the hills that are basically my antidepressant.
The province has been working to make it easier for American nurses and family doctors like Dr. Muthana Yakub to have their credentials recognized in BC. Yakub almost signed on with a clinic in Ontario, where he was born and spent part of his childhood, but it was the natural beauty of BC that enticed him and his wife. He will join the City of Colwood-owned medical clinic this fall. Yakub had become increasingly demoralized with the U.S.'s private healthcare system.
Some days it really feels like you're just treating the insurance company and not the patient.
The biggest catalyst, though, was the election of U.S. President Donald Trump and the anti-vaccine stance of his health secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The BC government is capitalizing on that sentiment with a $5 million ad campaign targeting healthcare workers in Washington State, Oregon, and California.
More news from Washington today. New data reveals Biden.
If you want to care for others in a place that cares about you, come to BC.
The Colwood Clinic's co-medical director is optimistic that BC's strategy to recruit U.S. doctors and nurses is working.
This is the first of what we hope will be many recruits.
However, the process of moving to Canada is straightforward for Yakub since he has dual citizenship.
Yeah.
American-born doctors would have to navigate Canada's immigration system, another possible roadblock. This year, the federal government slashed in half the number of skilled workers BC can bring in through the provincial nominee program, from 8,000 to 4,000.
It has been a
Yan. Okay. So guys, siguro swerte rin in a way itong doktor na ito kasi nga dual citizen siya, madali na siyang nakapractice dito. At yun, may Canadian citizen siya, he can stay. Sana yung red tape issue talaga, yung pagpapractice ng mas mabilis para malipat yung certification or whatever, mas mapabilis. At hindi lang po para sa mga healthcare workers in the US, no? Sana pati yung mga nurses natin na galing Pilipinas, nagkaroon na po ako ng episode tungkol dyan, di ba? Sana mas mapabilis palalo yung proseso ng kanilang pag-practice dito. Lalo na yung mga nandito na sa loob ng Canada, no? Although some, I think, yung mga nurses sa Pilipinas na nandito sa Canada, some of them really are just choosing to work in a different job. That's okay. But I'm sure meron din po yung mga talagang nasasayangan. Yung talagang naghahanap pa rin ng paraan para makapag-practice dito. Nandito na sila sa loob ng Canada. Feeling ko mapapabilis pa ito ng gusto. Halimbawa dito sa BC, no, sabi mahigit 1,000, parang 1,400 yung mga nag-a-apply. Pero mahigit 100 pa lang yung may actual job offers na tinanggap. So, maybe that process still could be faster. But nonetheless, good news na ito. Diba, tanggapin na natin. Pero sana mangyari din ito in different provinces. Please. Kaya lagi kong nire-remind din, no, yung mga kakilala ko, kayo dito, let's take advantage of the preventive care aspect, services that we can avail of. Huwag na natin hintayin hanggang mga ilangan na tayo ng, mas serious care. Sayang, di ba? We pay for this with our taxes. Go get yourselves checked, get regularly checked yung mga blood exams nyo, whatever, mag-request kayo. Sayang, di ba? Imbis na hinihintay natin na talagang may maramdaman na tayo, tapos maghihintay ng sobrang tagal pag ikaw ay mga ilangan ng procedure. Diba? Anyway, share your stories with me down there in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay? Bye!